Hey legends, welcome to this Draw With Me video. So please make sure you get a sketchbook, a pencil, paints, whatever you want to make some art, and feel free to join in. Or if you don't want to, that's also okay. You can sit there and just have a listen and watch me sketch some chickens. Before we get into the guts of this good quality conversation this afternoon, I'll have a little chat to you about the project that I'm working on here. This may not be a project where you see the final product for a long time, but essentially I would like to write and illustrate a picture book, junior fiction book, comic, etc., etc. Well, sorry about the blurriness there. She'll come good in a minute. Stephen! That's Steve barking in the background. Oh, here he goes. So basically, this is a book. Mind you, these are just sketches. I'm just trying to get some chicken drawings down pat. And this first one ends up looking absolutely rubbish, can I say. But the other ones start looking a little bit better. So the idea of this book is called Steve and the Zombie Chickens. So basically Steve, who is also my dog, yes, he's based heavily on my dog, is the protector of these chickens. Because he's half Kelpie, half Dachshund, he can't be a regular sheepdog and round up the sheep or the cattle. He has to round up the chickens because he can't quite hack it. So the chickens end up getting a case of bird flu, which is mistaken as them turning into zombies. Please don't steal my idea. So I've written the text of the book. I had a manuscript assessment done on it. It works out I'm not a great writer, so that's something I really need to keep working on if that's something I want to do, which yes, it definitely is. But I have actually decided with this book, I want it to be a hybrid kind of text between a comic or a graphic novel and a junior fiction novel. So it's for earlier readers or for older, less capable readers, or just, do you know what? I wanted it to be like Real Pigeons. I don't know if you've ever read that, but I love those books. 36-year-old loving Real Pigeons. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, so it's going to be like this hybrid comic / junior fiction text. There's a lot of work to do still on it. So yes, I do have somewhat of a manuscript that's in the early stages of editing. I need to rewrite the ending. I hate the ending, but I'm really bad at endings. But it all takes practice. So I need to get back in and rework the ending and think of some better ideas and stuff like that. So far it's taken me to get to this point about a year. So this is going to be a long project, which kind of brings me nicely into the other topic I was going to have a chat to you about today in this video. So a lot of you know, a lot of you don't. It depends, because one of these viewers, hi mum, one of the few people actually listening to this will be my mum and my dad. And a fair few people who know me personally will know that I want to get out of teaching. So I'm currently a full-time teacher. I still call myself an artist and illustrator. I've not actually published anything yet, but I will. I know I will. It'll happen eventually. It might happen in 20 years, but I started this journey. Look, I started disliking teaching about 8, 9, 10 years ago. Now, I've been doing it for about 14 years. And I at first it was, no, this school's horrible. It's this school, it's the principal, it's the this, it's the that, it's the kids, it's the teachers, it's the, whatever, it's the parents. It was everyone else's fault. And I said one day, finally, I don't think it's the school, I think it's me. And a couple of teachers, bless them, one teacher said to me at the time, "Oh, Kizzy, if you're listening, love your guts." She actually said to me, "You're too good a teacher not to teach." And at the time, I took that as very literal. Like, I need to be in a primary school. I need to be teaching full time. And I went, yep, you're right. No, I'm going to keep going. This is what I've trained for. This is what I've done years and years of experience in. And that conversation was about 7 years ago now. So I continued to, just trail on, getting really upset when I didn't get permanent positions, and really still just teaching my all. Doing a bit of art on the side. I really only started getting back into art about 10 years ago after, high school, basically. Not after high school, that wasn't high school, but since high school, I only started getting back into art about 10 years ago. And I just started drawing, and I started just mimicking other creators. So I had a good friend of mine who is a creator. She does more scrapbooking stuff. So I started getting scrapbooking. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on scrapbooking supplies and stamps and all that good stuff. And then realizing that that's not what I want to do. And I didn't even really enjoy it as a hobby. So I ended up either giving away or selling all my stuff because I had so much stuff. And it's really only been these last year or two where I did a program called Level Up Your Life with Brianna May, with the Mind School. Look her up. She's freaking amazing. I'm going to go into one-on-one with her later in the year, hopefully, as long as she's got space for me. And so I did the Level Up Your Life about 2.5 years ago, and it just kind of put like a fire up under my bum, really, and it really made me realize I am making excuses. I came from a family where having a secure job was more important than enjoying your work. And these were those beliefs that I had instilled in myself. Teaching is a good, stable job. We always will need teachers. So I will always have a job as a result. Yes, I know we are always fighting for more money, but in the grand scheme of things, it really didn't matter what I do, any other job. And I think my partner didn't really understand that because he wanted me to just quit and do something in admin. I'm like, you do realize my pay will halve? And he's like, oh, no, I didn't. I'm like, yeah, like we need to put this into perspective. And of course, he started his business about 3 or 4 years ago, and maybe not quite that long. But so we really needed me to be earning some serious money to be able to pay the bills. And get through life day to day. And what I found is when I realized 2 years ago, it was great when I was in Level Up. I was so motivated, so ready to go. I resigned, we moved. I took 6 months off teaching, and I just couldn't I think I launched too soon because I just didn't know what exactly I wanted. I knew what I wanted, but I don't know. It's very hard to explain. But anyway, I knew I wanted to do something in my art, but I really just needed a better business plan, really. And I know the things I need to do, but it's just a matter of doing them. That's the problem. So I took 6 months off. I still worked. I still did teaching 2 days a week. But I found that I just wasn't able to get my art business off the ground. So I ended up going back to teaching full time. Now that's been 1.5 years, nearly 1.75 years now since that happened. And I feel like I've just kind of backtracked. I've gone back to the comfort. I went to somewhere where it was a bit tricky, and I've gone back to comfort. And as a result, there's been no growth. Can you tell I only just listened to the Mind School podcast this morning about that fear, the fear you get when you're in your growth zone. because it's scary to grow, it's scary to change, and I'm going into a business where no one in my family has ever gone before. So super scary, and I still don't really know exactly how it's going to look, but I am much more clear about it. So come about a year ago, I started thinking something wasn't right, because I don't know if I think. My mum's always told me I don't think the same way as other people. So I've known that my brain works differently, but I never knew why or what or how. For a while there, I worried I was on the spectrum, the autism spectrum, which I still have my moments where I think it sounds probable, which is fine. It's not anything. But my partner has ADHD. He was diagnosed when he was quite young, and we had some serious court talks. And it's like he said, he could see a lot of the traits that he had in me as well. And I did things that I actually didn't even realize that I did. Like, I would start a sentence and just stop. And he would be like, "Oh, are you going to finish your sentence?" And I'd be like, "Oh, what was I talking?" And I'd have no recollection of even talking. So, like, there were signs. There was definitely signs, and so people at school would say to me, "Oh, I don't know how you have so much energy." When it wasn't that I was having great sleeps and that I wasn't tired, because I was exhausted, and every day is a challenge in terms of exhaustion, but for some reason, I get out and I've got this newfound energy, this go, you know. This is a long story. Gosh, am I going to get it done? Yeah, I got another 10 minutes. Oh, 9 minutes or something. Anyway, so, come on, ADHD Corny. So I decided to go down the track of being tested for ADHD. There was a little bit of pushback. I don't think my GP thought it was the right path, but I've learnt a lot, especially with GPs in rural Australia. You got to go in and tell them what you want. Otherwise, I've not really found very many good doctors in rural New South Wales, which is a very big claim, I know, but that's just my own experience. I'm not saying there's none. I've struggled to find decent doctors who actually invest time. Not since I left Sydney. I had a great doctor in Sydney. This is the problem. So I was a bit spoilt back there. But anyway, I don't think my GP thought it was the right path. I think he thought that I just had anxiety, because that's something that I wasn't really diagnosed, but I was told I had anxiety, you know. So I was on anxiety medication, but didn't really feel like it was doing much. There were still days where I would freak out, and there were days where, you know, it took a fair bit to get out of bed and stuff. So I was like, well, is it anxiety or is it something else? So I thought, I'm going to try the ADHD route. Because then I started learning about things like ADHD burnout. And I'm like, wow, have I suffered from anxiety and depression? Or have I suffered from ADHD burnout? I was a bit like, whoa, mind blown. So anyway, I did it, and I found a psychologist in Sydney who was amazing. And I came out with a combined type ADHD. So now it's a matter of me, okay, I know I've got ADHD. I now need to explore my options. So I need to see a psychiatrist. I've actually got my first psychologist appointment tonight, as part of my my treatment plan. So that'll be good fun. But I need to go to a psychiatrist to work out whether medication's right for me or whether it's not or anything like that. So I'm still learning. I'm still learning so much about my brain and how it works. And I'm trying to work out ways to design my business so it works for me. So I'm setting myself up for success. I'm not trying to do something that I know I'm not going to be able to do. So, yeah, and look, and I still would like to leave teaching. In a nutshell, it still frustrates me, the system and things like that, but that's a whole nother kettle of fish. So yeah, I'm well and truly on my journey, and I'd like to take you along with me. When did I only got diagnosed about a month ago? So, like I said, I'm just still learning so much about it. And like last weekend, I had somebody who was going to come and look at a camper that I've got for sale. And he was meant to come at 10 o'clock. And then I had this whole day planned in my head. Well, the guy didn't turn up. So straight away, it threw my whole day out, because that's not what was planned. And I in my head, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to sell it. It might not sell. And it wasn't even a disappointment in that I didn't sell it. It's so hard to explain, but it was like, my partner and I call it an internal handbrake. So because he didn't turn up, there was this internal handbrake that was jammed on, and all I wanted to do was lay down and go to bed and not do anything, because it just seemed too hard, and I just felt too overwhelmed. And that's a big thing, looking at that from the outside. Yeah, it looks like depression, but it wasn't. I think, look, I'm not 100% certain, but I do believe that was just my ADHD. So anyway, this might be, all you got to do is listen to this and you can hear that I've got ADHD jumping around all over the shop. So there's a lot of challenges. I'm going to have a chat to my psychologist tonight about what to be honest with you, I don't know where to next, to be honest. I don't know. So I need to sort everything out. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. That's just my life story at the moment. I still find going to school each day really hard, but I approached my principal the other day and asked to go back to part-time next year. And I'm still even unsure about that. The reason I'm unsure about that is because I'm wondering whether I should just go back to casual. Because I'm also a fiercely loyal person, and if I tell him I'll do 2 days a week for the year, I'll have to do 2 days a week for the whole year. I won't be able to say in 6 months, look, my business is going really well, I've got this part-time job at the pub or whatever, I'm actually going to give up teaching. I won't be able to say that. Well, I can, and it'll take a lot of training for me, but it's not in my nature. So I'm kind of now going, well, is it worth Mummy just going casual? Because there is such a desperate need for casuals in the country, and I could basically just tell them what days I want to work. Or do I do the 2 days a week? I don't know. Tell me in the comments below what I should do. What do you reckon I should do? I'm a bit lost in that aspect. I've got to make those decisions up. But yeah, work with some great people, and I will miss them, but I will also see them outside of school. The ones I want to anyway. Yeah, cool. Hope you enjoyed this chat. It was a bit serious, wasn't it? It was too serious. My goodness. If you want to ask me any questions about my ADHD, about my art, about my teaching, give me advice. I'm open to advice. Tell me the best thing I should do. Feel free to pop it down in the comments below. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to try and be more regular, but I can't guarantee anything. So right now, it's a goodbye and thank you from me. Bye.